And I now give the floor to the representative of Georgia.
Mr. President, Excellencies, let me express our gratitude to the UK Presidency for convening today's important debate. I would also like to thank the Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, and the distinguished panelists to contributions to this debate. Georgia aligns itself with the statement delivered by the European Union. And let me add a few remarks in my national capacity. Human trafficking is a global problem affecting the most vulnerable: women, children, internally displaced people, refugees and minorities. This gruesome violation of human rights translates itself in the different transnational organized crime. And terrorist groups, as mentioned by our colleagues, often use human trafficking as the weapon of terror and the sources of revenue. An increased movement of refugees and migrants have significantly increased the threat of human trafficking. Therefore, we welcome the increased focus of the Security Council to this matter with the latest resolution 2331. UN and its agencies have a special role to play at all levels, especially in addressing the needs of IDPs and refugees in emergency and post-emergency settings. An engagement of the Security Council on this matter will further promote efforts to this end alongside the New York Declaration. Excellencies, human trafficking has been a core priority for the government of Georgia over a decade, and the country has witnessed progressive high appraisal of its counter-trafficking measures by the Global Report and Measurement Instruments. The latest 2016 Global Slavery Report, the 2016 US State Department report, and the second evaluation of Greta all document the visible progress made by the country. Namely, the Global Slavery Index ranks Georgia as the second country taking the most actions based on the GDP, and as the 17th country out of 167 states that are taking the most effective counter-trafficking measures. And while witnessing the progress, let me summarize 4 success factors and lessons on what has worked in my country. First, sustainable political commitment and continuously evolving legislative framework has been a key to success. An adequate legislation basis has been in place, and human trafficking is explicitly criminalized in Georgia. Most recently, Georgia consolidated its vision in its National Action Plan structured around 4 Ps: prevention, protection, prosecution, and partnerships around human trafficking. Second, multi-sectoral and multi-stakeholders approach has been critical, and the Interagency Council led by the Ministry of Justice that brings together the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Ministry of Labor, Health and Social Affairs, non-governmental organizations, and the State Fund for Assistance of the Victims has played a critical role. Third, focus should be placed on proactive investigation. And Georgia, over the last 4 years, has almost doubled proactive investigations thanks to the special mobile teams and a special anti-trafficking unit under the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Finally, public awareness raising on trafficking has been critical as an essential preventive measure. And therefore, Georgia will intensify its public awareness raising efforts through its new information strategy targeting the most vulnerable groups. Mr. President, illegal occupation of Georgian regions of Tskhin Valley and South Ossetia and Abkhazia by the Russian Federation remains as the main limitation for the government of Georgia to fully exercise its counter-trafficking measures. There are no mechanisms to effectively identify, investigate and prosecute alleged TIP cases in the occupied territories, while the occupying power continues to place undue restrictions on the local population, particularly ethnic Georgians. Finally, Mr. President, Excellencies, let me reiterate that Georgia continues to be committed to increase the international cooperation for effective cross-border control measures, and we stay committed to stronger international efforts for preventing and combating human trafficking and modern slavery. I thank you for your attention.